And welcome everybody to this session on MakeCode for Microbit. Here from Seattle, Washington, my name is Pelly. I work in the MakeCode team. And with me today we've got Emil. And we're going to be coding the microbit. If you go to makecode.microbit.org in your browser, you can do all the coding with us. We don't need the hardware, and then you can order a microbit and build it for real. That makes sense?
Yeah.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can right-click 2 times on the video and do picture-in-picture, and then you can follow the video along. Emil, today our challenge is to build a timer to measure that you're washing your hands at least 20 seconds.
Oh.
So no tutorials today.
Oh yeah.
We're going off rail. Click on new project. And we know it's very important right now to wash our hands a lot and for a long time. So there's a few things we want to make sure we do. First of all, we want to figure out a way that we don't have to touch anything to start washing our hands.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be able to start the countdown without touching the microbit. And then we should give a clear indication to the user that the countdown started and another clear indication that the countdown stopped. Those are the kind of 3 requirements for today. Emil, up to you.
Yep.
I hope you had a good breakfast. You're ready. Brains are ready. So how do we, let's try to figure out things we can do. And
timer. So.
Can do timer, but how are we going to start the timer? Can't press a button. We would put all our dirty fingers on it. No elbows.
Okay, I know.
What do we have? Shake, that means we're shaking the microbit.
No, the light sensors.
Light sensors, yes. Where is it?
Input?
Light level. Okay. Well, we don't have an event for it, so we're just going to have to code it ourselves.
Yeah.
Which is okay. So that's one thing we're going to be able to use. Let's zoom in once. That's good. And it's really important you start with the sensors you have if you're trying to challenge, to build something. Because ultimately, I mean, this is the real world. You have to kind of see the thing. So light level, how would that be useful?
Well, you just whoop, and then it starts.
Yeah, if you have a light source, and it's a bathroom, so there's probably a lot of lights. And if you put your hand over the microbit, it's going to go dark. All right, so what do we have to do? It feels like we need to be constantly testing whether this is going. And we've got this super cool block here.
Where? Game?
The one you've basically deleted.
Oh yeah, forever?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's there. Go back. Yeah, take your time. All right, so what is forever again?
It just...
Yeah, it just runs a code. There's a 20 millisecond delay in between every loop. It gives a breather, allows other code to run. All right, so how do we test things? How do we check for things? Yes, that sounds great. Now...
Thing from
Yeah, we need to grab something, some kind of math operator. All right. So what does it mean? So what are we going to try to test? We're going to test that the light level is what?
Well, if it's dark.
It's dark. Now, in general, when you deal with sensors, it's not as precise as things. So you want to do a threshold. So you want to say it's higher or it's lower, or things like that. Because it's rarely just precise to the number. Greater?
Greater than or equal to, right?
Which means what?
Which means it can be 0 or...
How about we do...
Right?
Well, you know what? we should really test that. So one thing we're gonna have to do is test the number. So this means that it has to be, so the light level is always positive, and this checks whether the light level is positive. So, and this means it's negative, but it's a positive number.
I don't know, not equal to?
Right, so one thing you can figure out is, this light level goes between full light, which is 255, and a little bit of light around here. So what we could decide to do is something like, well, if it's really close to, I don't know.
Okay. So we could do less than or equal to.
Yeah, it really won't matter. I mean, it's just this difference of 1. All right. But a great way to test that actually is 2. And that's something if you want to build in your house, just actually show it on screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to send it to our hardware and we're going to test. Well, you know what? How could we test a minimum level? Okay, I'm going to do something for you that's really cool. Let's call this light. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do something, do you know the minimum of something? I'm going to measure the light. And I'm going to collect the minimum light I ever see. But I have to do it, so that's how I'm going to do it. Yeah. I'm going too fast here. Let's see. Tell me when you're completely confused, Emil. So we start with saying, oh, the light is super high, 255. And then we say, oh, but the light should be really the minimum of whatever I'm seeing right now, and the last known minimum. And then we go in a loop like that. And this will tell us in our room what's the minimum light. So for example, so this started at 128. But if I go down, 61. Now it says 61. And if I go up again, it's still 61. And the reason I'm going to do that is I am going to test that. Can we send that to the hardware? Is there a microbit?
Yeah.
Camera?
Yep.
All right, we're transferring the code to the microbit. And what I'm doing is I'm scrolling the numbers. So right now the minimum light is, okay, I'm going to reset this because I flipped it over. So the minimum light is
255.
255, and then now it's going to say
130.
Now the idea is that when we're gonna go to the bathroom and we're gonna put our hand in front of it without touching it, and then take it over. And now the minimum is 0.
It was already 0.
It was?
Yeah, it was 0 for like.
Well, I guess then it's because it's the way the light is set up, but it might be different in your bathroom. 19. Oh, it's very damp. And if I do this?
9.
19. Boost a bit of light on this one. 5. Okay. So by all means, let's bring that code back. Delete everything I did. Yeah, goes away, and the unstart goes away too. Wing. Okay, we're back to our code. I think we lost the light sensing.
Can we just spam undo?
Yeah, we can spam undo. Spam, 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 spam. Back to 0. So 64 is super high. It should be good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so 50.
50.
So we know that, what do we know? We know that if the light level is less than 50, most likely someone turned off the lights in the room, or someone is putting his hand in front of the microbit. Now let's do a timer.
So we need to do an on, but like on light level.
So we have that. So now the code here will run when the light is lower. So now we want to show a countdown. So we want to show maybe numbers from. So we could just do some show number.
I keep on.
So you're gonna need a variable probably
Oh yeah.
to count.
Time.
Yeah. Okay. Now there's many ways to do that.
But this is running every 20 milliseconds.
Yeah, but it's gonna be stuck in here until it doesn't restart until it's done. No, it's fine. Just leave it there. All right. So you want to loop. So one way we could do it is we could loop, show a number, and then do that 20 times. We could loop, show a number, wait a second.
So it's 20.
Yeah. So how about, so go to the loop. Let's see what we have in here. So we could repeat something 20 times. Maybe we don't need a variable.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we want to do 20 times?
I don't know. Like wash our, no, 20 seconds.
So we have 20 seconds. We have to make sure the user is washing their hands 20 seconds. So how do we do that? How would you want the screen to do? So you kind of want to figure out what the screen is going to show.
Oh yeah,
and then you're going to turn it into code.
Show.
Yeah, we could show a number.
No, we need to show. Oh yeah, number. Then we do.
Yeah, let's try that. Oops. It's always showing 20. Let's look at the code. Let's see why it's always showing 20.
Because it's just 20. It's not going.
Yeah,
down.
there's actually a different type of loop. If you go to the loop, oh, there's this second one which is with an index. We could do while true.
That's the third one.
Yeah, this one is very cool. You don't want to nest them.
What?
Yeah, you need to move the one from the inside out. And let's get rid of this. Okay, so we want to loop 20 times.
Mhm.
Well, it actually doesn't hurt if you wash your hands more than 20 seconds. 20 seconds is the bare minimum. 20.
Oh, 20.
Okay, and in every iteration, what do we do? So we have this thing called index.
Mhm.
An index is a number that starts at 0 and it's going to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Let's try that.
The,
I don't think we need that variable anymore. Could delete it.
this one?
Yeah. All right, let's see. It's very fast.
I don't know if that's a second. Oh, we need to.
I think it's 400 milliseconds, so we need to pause a bit. You want to pause it before or after? So you first show the number,
Then you pause.
then we pause. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of looks okay.
Yeah, I think it's
I
pretty.
think it slows down a bit.
Yeah.
It's not real seconds. It might, because the 2 digits, they take a while to go through the screen.
Yeah. So
But, you know. Okay, and what happens when you're done? Kind of need to tell your user, you know, you want to put
I
it.
know that's forever.
Yes. There we go.
Actually, I'm just gonna. So
And
check mark.
check mark. Yes, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
So it shows you the timer. And
It's a long time.
long time. It kind of slows down because when there's 2 digits.
Yeah, it does. So I'll just put
So
it
maybe our strategy is not the best.
420. How about that?
So one problem is that it's very, well, I guess this is all not very precise, but we don't really know how long show number lasts. We're kind of pausing randomly. So we might give them a bad advice. So maybe there's a way to do it that's more precise.
Okay.
So here's my idea. We record in a variable the time when we start, and we show some kind of animation while 20 seconds, until 20 seconds go through. So we don't count. Does that make sense? All right, so let's create a variable.
What's it called?
I guess we are, what would you call it? It's the start of the timer.
Start.
And if you do variable, you don't need to do capital.
Of thy timer. Oops, I can't.
You can actually just type and put spaces. It's fine. Of timer. There we go. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna set it to the current time when we enter the loop. So before the loop, yeah, right there. And I think you can find the time somewhere in input. There you go. So that is.
It's milliseconds.
Yeah, it's milliseconds. That's good to know. Otherwise, our 20 seconds are going to go very fast. That is the time the microbit has been turned on. There's no clock in the microbit. All right, now let's look in the loops. I think there was this second loop that we looked at, the while loop. All right. So we want to show an animation while 20 seconds has elapsed.
So here?
So I think we're going to replace this whole code here. Let's just move this out for now. All right. Now, how do we test that the timer that 20 seconds has gone through? Considering you have a time, you recorded at it, let's say it's 9 a.m.
We get a diamond block?
We get a diamond block, yes. For sure. Yeah, one of those. Let's put it in there. Now we're going to say that, how do you know the elapsed time between 2 time points?
This?
Yeah, this is the current time. And if you subtract that with the start of the timer, you get you get the number of milliseconds. I think you need to go in math.
Whoa, they don't have minus? No.
And here, subtraction. So you're going to want to subtract, yeah. So you're going to take running time, which is the current time, and then subtract what?
Subtract the start.
The start, yes. And that gives you, let's collapse the simulator. All right, so we've subtracted running time. Nope, let's stay on the left. Minus the start of the timer, we get the number of milliseconds since we start the loop, and this should be less than or greater or equals. Oh, you're not showing anything. You're not going to see anything. So we want to spend at least 20,000.
What about this?
Yeah. So you want the elapsed time to be at least 20 seconds, which means
Equal, so
greater.
greater
Yeah.
than or equal to
20 seconds.
20.
And remember, we were in milliseconds. 20,000. Yes. All right. So if it's in this loop. Now you sure? So this is the loop where we know they're cleaning their hands.
Mm-hmm.
So you sure you want this to be greater? We can try it with the snailer. I'm gonna do a little animation here. And the cleaning animation. What would be a good cleaner? Cleaner, clean, clean, clean.
Could do a bubble, then it pops. A small circle, then the big circle.
Oh. We have to draw it.
No.
Let's do this. Alright, bubbles.
Yeah.
If I run this, nothing happens. If I do the snail, it goes
Can't
in.
see.
Now think about it. When you just run this, this is pretty much equals to that. So this minus this is really going to be equal to 0 the first time. Is it going to be greater than 20,000? So this loop is where you're trapping people and they have to clean their hands.
Yeah.
So let's fix that condition. There we go. Let's try that. Yeah. And now it's going to do it, and it's probably going to overshoot a bit. But we'll know at least 20 seconds have gone through. And then we need to do our final.
A bit of music when you did it.
Yeah, we could do music. We could play a little victory song at the end. After the loop. Yeah, so that means if you do that, you need to also attach a little speaker to the microbit.
Yeah.
Let's also do something on the screen in case you don't have a screen. I think we had something in the old code, which we could actually delete. Oh yeah, check mark is there. Yeah. There you go. So here's the hand cleaner. It goes into the loop and it's in tracing mode now, so it's slower. There you go. Starts the animation and we're cleaning. Our hands are gone, so light is going to go up again. Clean, 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 clean. And eventually check mark with some birthday song. Power up.
Power up.
Oh, forever? No, no. Okay, let's try it out. Let's see how that looks like on the hardware. You know, we could also maybe do play tone on every iteration.
Yeah. Like ding, ding.
And it goes at a higher pitch every time.
Battery 5.
Oh, it's already started.
Oh.
Did you?
Well, I didn't control some. Okay, just
Woo.
finished.
How about you add a play tone in the loop
Okay.
and you make the frequency go higher?
Wait.
Oh, the frequency could be the elapsed time. Oh, that'd be lit. The start of the loop. Yeah, and then just duplicate the math with it for the running time minus. Yeah, let's do a quick one. 1/16. No, you want. Okay, this is gonna be fun. You want to take this. What? Undo. And take that one and put it here. It's gonna be more dramatic.
I can't hear it. Oh, wait. What?
Let's download it here.
What? Wait, let's see. What? What? Oh yeah, let's download it.
No, you're hearing the hardware. I think 50 is. We should probably have something like. Okay, it's transferring. Are you back on my camera? All right, it starts a timer. And it does a little sound. That's very high pitched.
Can you hear it?
Okay, we may have to reconsider. I think around 20K I can't hear anything. You might hear it.
Can you hear it?
No.
Do you hear this? Can you hear this?
Yeah. No.
I can hear it.
It's a kid's timer.
Oh my god.
The adults lose
Can you hear it?
hearing the
Can
high
you hear it?
pitches.
Can
No.
you hear it?
Oh, it's restarted. You know, our detector is not aggressive enough. Let's change the 50 to 0.
Okay.
To 5. Let's change it to 5 and send it again. And also, yeah, that pitch is not really working out. We'll figure that out. All right, we're transferring again to the microbit. All right, and code is going through. And the amount of light it's going to detect really depends also if you're using, I think, LED lights or incandescence or daylight. I want to keep a nice source of light on this little microbit. Did it transfer?
You think?
All right, here we go. And 20 seconds of hand washing, everything, washing, 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 washing. Ah. That's it.
It's here.
We're squeezy here. Okay, let's go back to the code and just see what we've done today. The hand washer. All right, so we've got a, what do we have, Emil?
The if, the loop, the variables, and then the show icons.
Yeah. we use the sensor data. We don't have an event.
And input and math.
And we use a variable to compute the elapsed time, to do a timer, high precision timer. Do some cool animation, tell the user that he has to wash his hands, her hands, and some cool sound at the end. And that's something you can install in your bathroom,
Yeah.
and people can start timing without touching the microbit. And that's it for today, folks.